I am Lisa Sheppy from the Centre for Print Research in Bristol and have just submitted my doctoral study, which was designed to investigate an obsolete industrial craft termed tissue transferware, with the aim to reinstate it through the lens of contemporary printmaking. Tissue transferware has a distinctive aesthetic, recognisable as an intricate image constructed from lines and dots in a monochrome colour printed onto an entire compound domestic ceramic object. The marks appear painterly with soft tonal ranges under a clear glaze. Tissue transferware was made inside the factory, but begins with a method of engraving by hand with a sharp-ended tool to achieve the design onto a copper plate. The subsequent divisions of the method of production are a combination of mechanical and manual procedures. The ink formulation was critical in the research. It must be viscous enough to print onto the tissue paper and also transfer onto the biscuit-fired ceramic. The components I developed are safe and non-toxic and are a blend combining ceramic colorant and an effective carrier oil. The inking of the plate follows an intaglio method, but instead of the ink being buttery and pliable, it is thick and tacky. The ink is pushed into the recess of the engraved marks, and the excess is wiped and removed from the upper surface. The inked wiped plate is placed onto the bed of the etching press. The tissue is laid on top and passes through the rollers of the press, printing the design onto the tissue. The printing method echoes that of intaglio printmaking in the potteries, and this was mechanised but also practised manually depending on the type of pattern decoration. The plate was passed through the press backwards and forwards, which ensures the ink is printed effectively onto the tissue. This action was based on observations of the printing process from pottery professionals. The tissue print is revealed from the plate, assessed and placed face down onto the biscuit-fired ceramic surface. The printed image is transferred using hand pressure with a felt pad, brushes and squeegees, with the use of soft soap as a lubrication. Historically, in the potteries, whole teams of women would work on transferring, and today, Burley Pottery in Stoke-on-Trent is the last manufacturer to still employ this method of ceramic transfer printing. This relies heavily on the manipulation of materials with touch and repetition until practiced and honed. After transferring, the ceramic object goes through two separate firing cycles. Firing 1 is a low temperature firing. It burns off the oils and print residues, hardens on the pattern and makes it stable. This allows for the clear glaze to be applied without any damage to the pattern. Firing 2 is the final clear glaze firing. This laminates the pattern underneath the glaze and renders the object resilient and impervious. Materialising the research serves as tangible evidence of both the working method but also the artistic possibilities for future creatives. The research has emerged through a series of artworks produced with a palette of tools and materials familiar to artists working in the fields of both printmaking and ceramics. This new method is open, accessible, and within reach for future artists to realise its creative potential.